for the content that they offer and what type of player will be into these type of things. Now, of course, you have the choice to not opt in and not support these practices, and normally I'll be there with you, but I want more new content, so I supported what I was interested in. So, obviously, if you want the costume DLCs, I will admit they are pretty basic. They have these split into 3 options. You either have the $4.99 3 character packs, you have the $1.99 Owl costume because she gets her own, and you have the $14.99 all-in-one pack. So let's get into something that has a bit more substance to them to enhance some of your basic gameplay. We have ether synthesis. This essentially allows you to make certain materials based off of what you've already discovered using materials you already have. Now, this could be useful if you don't want to go searching for something out in the field, and you can potentially create what you're looking for here. But if you don't mind doing that, then the 99 cents plus tax you're spending on this might not be worth it. I've tried it anyway, and I did find some use in it, but not a lot in particular. After that, we have the school development facilities summer night vacation. Overall, I really did enjoy these because I enjoy the characters, I enjoy crafting and customizing the school grounds. So if you're interested in any of those things, then I think the $4.99 plus tax you spend on this will be worth it if you enjoy that content. But if you're someone that tends to want to skip some of this side stuff that isn't necessary, and you're not a big fan of some or most of the character interactions, this may not be for you. The last 2, which are the big ones, which are the Hidden Southern Island. This one is priced at $7.99 plus tax. This one in particular, I will say, for the experience it offers with a new location you can go to by chapter 10, overall, it's not really worth the price until I realized after you beat it, you are able to get fragments, which might be useful for your current game or maybe your potential new game plus from fighting bosses over again, which is one thing I wish this game had, the ability to fight tough enemies over again. Here you can do that, and after you beat each set of bosses, you get a repeat set, but they're tougher. So the more you fight, the tougher they get, meaning if you're looking for a challenge with rematches, then I think that might make this worth it. Otherwise, you could probably skip it. This will take you for the main story anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how strong you are in the game as well as how long you tend to explore the areas. And lastly, we have the Atelier Ryza Collab Dungeon. This one is priced at $7.99 plus tax. 3 areas which have a massive level scale, from area 1 being level 25 recommended, then the next one it goes to 40, and after that 50. So it's definitely something that if you want to beat it, you should be in the game by that point in time. How long will this take you to beat? I'm gonna say, from my experience, about 2 to 3 hours. This could go longer simply because the game introduces the cauldron, which you have to craft, and as you make things in the cauldron, it opens up more areas. So if you want to and have more shortcuts, then you're going to have to spend time making things and then going to the cauldron to open up more areas, which could take an unknown amount of time depending on what you have and if you know where things are. Now, if you just want to get through it, then you could take the long ways. How much do you want to explore? Do you want to collect all the memories? So your time will vary, but the worst thing I will have to say about this, regardless of how much I love it and how it called back to a lot of Ryza 2 moments, which if you played Ryza 2, then you'll probably appreciate this and recognize those moments. But if you haven't, I don't think you'll feel the same way and it will hit as hard as it does for people who are in the know. But it's the only stage where when you go to it, it has a loading icon. So on a normal PlayStation 4, I saw that when I was exploring the areas, there would be some frame rate drops and it would feel very weird to move around. Now, I don't know why this is. I think it could be because they potentially like ported these areas from Ryza 2 and then took elements from the other areas to make this version of the areas, so that these areas aren't necessarily the most optimized for the game, where when I tested out other areas, the movement was very smooth and there was no lag or anything. But then when I went back to that area, even though it got a little better, I still saw moments where it felt very laggy, which made avoiding enemies very hard to do. But at the end of the day, I think you should at least do at least one go around the whole area, because there are some unique materials there that you will need later on with the cauldron. For someone who very much enjoys playing Blue Reflections and wants to get more out of it, I do think you should try Ryza Collab, as well as getting some of the nighttime facilities. You can easily skip on the ether synthesis because you might as well just go out and get some of the stuff anyway if you're farming for certain items, and then pick up some extra items that you may not need now but may be useful later. So tell me, what did you think of all these DLCs? Have you played any of them? Have you considered getting any of them? And if you have played them, what do you think of them? And do you think they are worth the price based off of what you enjoy from the series as well as the experience that they offer?